The evidence is overwhelming that this guy is guilty, and if we get a competent prosecutor, he's going to end up getting convicted of first-degree murder. And by the way, within a very short period of time, perhaps a week, I'm going to be reaching out to the prosecutors of America. There's close to 1,000 out there, looking for a courageous prosecutor, a state attorney general, a DA. I don't have any clout anymore. I got the clout of an emaciated moth. I'm not in law enforcement. But I'm going to be reaching out to prosecutors who do have clout, who do have the authority to go against George Bush. I'm sending them a copy of my book with a cover letter, telling them to read the book, and if they agree with me that the evidence of Bush's guilt is clear, and they feel that they have jurisdiction, and I've spent hundreds of hours at the law library establishing this all-important point of jurisdiction, then I'm going to tell them to proceed forward, and I'm going to offer my help in any way that they see fit, which could range all the way from being a consultant to being appointed a special prosecutor. I want to tell you just one little interesting story. There's a lawyer back east. I spoke to him 2 days ago. He said, Vince, I'm your biggest fan. I'm selling this book to everyone. I had a bet with Ralph Nader. Nader said this book will never get out. They're going to black it out. And he said, no, it's going to become a bestseller. And it has become a bestseller now. So we won the bet with Nader. I don't know how much they bet. In any event, he said, Vince, I live in a county, and no citizen of this county has died so far in this war. But if a citizen of this county dies, I'm telling you, Vince, I'm going to run for district attorney. And if I become district attorney, I'm going to go after George Bush. I'm going to prosecute him. You can extrapolate that to thousands of prosecutors around this country, and maybe some law student who is hearing me talk right now and says, you know, when I get out, I'm going to become a DA or state attorney general, and I'm going to go after George Bush. You've got to realize there's no statute of limitations for the crime of murder. So this could very well happen. At this stage of my life, I cannot engage in fanciful reveries. This is a very real thing that we're talking about here. I've established jurisdiction on a federal and state level for the prosecution of Bush for 2 crimes, conspiracy to commit murder and murder. On a federal level, we're really only talking about the Attorney General in Washington, D.C., operating through his Department of Justice. But on a state level, I've established jurisdiction for the Attorney General in each of the 50 states, plus the hundreds of district attorneys and counties within those states, to prosecute George Bush for the murder of any soldier or soldiers from their state or county who died fighting his war in Iraq. And with
Vincent
all those prosecutors... Yes.
You have 30 seconds, and if you were the man who was trying this case and you were told you now have 30 seconds to sum up before the jury, what would those last words be?
Oh, that's an impossible situation, except to say that the evidence is overwhelming that George Bush took this nation to war on a lie, under false pretenses, and therefore, under the law, he's guilty of murder. And if justice means anything in America, I want you to come back with a verdict of guilty. If we're going to become a great nation again, we cannot become a great nation. We used to be. We cannot become a great nation unless we take the first step of bringing those responsible for the war in Iraq to justice.
Vincent Bugliosi, we want to thank you for being with us. His book is called The Prosecution of George W. Bush for Murder. Vincent Bugliosi himself has tried 21 murder cases. He's gotten a conviction in every one.
What a revolution! Yeah! You gotta